English philosopher of the 20th century, Alan Watts, was right when he said the style of God venerated in the church, mosque, or synagogue seems completely different from the style of the natural universe, meaning God exists in many different ways, in many different places, in many different styles and manners and ways, and that means the absolute understanding and the achievement of His comprehension in our lives will not be easy for us, no matter who we are, what we have, or what we ultimately become. But God actually is always going to remain an abstract idea, not only externally but also internally, because we have developed it. We have cultivated it on the basis of our own mind, because the human mind and psychology sometimes suffers from desperation and frustration, and it also always is in need of constant and consistent meaning, significance, authenticity, and some kind of validation that it does not always get from the external world and outside environments and societies. And that's why it projects or creates the idea of an omnipotent, metaphysical, superior entity all by itself, who is moral, authentic, and sovereign, and obviously who can provide us with the missing pieces of meaning, significance, talent in our lives, or fill the voids that exists because of our own lack of talent, individuality, sovereignty, skill, intelligence, character, knowledge, wisdom, etc. But the thing is, there have also always been fundamental, noticeable, imperative differences between how the church, mosque, temples, and the different religious institutions or organizations view God, represent Him, and worship Him, and also how God actually exists and can be found in the universe and in external environments. The church and the religious institutions makes God entirely something else. They make something out of God that sometimes seem untrustworthy or lacking in meaning, significance, worth, authenticity, and individuality. But the thing is, the version of God that is being worshipped, or that we find inside of these different religious institutions, has always been considered to be, and it is also going to be, the most trustworthy, admired, and respected and honored by the majority of people in the world, and not the one that exists in the universe as a superior governor and moral character, and obviously a great or greater power, because we don't consider the universe